Hello, everybody. Jeff Mason, SimpleBiz360 podcast, SimpleBiz360.com, SimpleBiz Timeless Business Tools right here on Amazon, $18.95. We got a lot of stuff named SimpleBiz. Anyway, hey, I'm in a kind of a weird mood today, so I'm going to try to have some fun. Hope you guys, I hope I don't bother you guys with this level of fun. But first things first, I just want to say thank you so much to Half Coast Studios. Dietz is in the room behind the glass, and we have Matt today with us too. So Matt is behind the glass working the board. So we got a tandem today, and we're going to bounce back and forth with these guys from now on and just have a little fun, that little sidekick thing, you know, Johnny Carson, Ed McMahon, if you remember those. Any rate, we are going to try just to lighten up the mood today before a pretty tough show, I'd say. I don't know, I say it is. But at any rate, first things first, let's do some housekeeping. That is my grandson, by the way, that you hear saying, all right, Mr. Simple Biz guy, let's start the show. So it's kind of nice to draw family in and have some of that influence in the show. It's a privilege. So we're coming to you from beautiful St. Louis, Missouri. The Blues are trying to come on and do it again this year. We missed out on last year, so everybody here in St. Louis is rooting the Blues on, having some fun there. And we just want to, just a couple housekeeping things, let you know that I will be teaching a course starting right around March 1st on Christian Business Network. It is a course called World Class Customer Satisfaction. It is going to revolve around the book, and we're going to tie it back to some Christian principles. It's going to be fun. Been working on this for about a month or so, putting it together. So the go live date's March 1st. You have to sign up with Christian Business Network. It's open to over 100 countries. So we're really excited about that. It's going to be a Zoom format of teaching. So that's going to be pretty exciting. We had an opportunity to help out the Greater St. Louis Area Junior Achievement Cause a couple weeks ago. We did a little video for them just to try to speak to the folks in that high school zone as they look to their future. You know, a lot of confusing times, so we just wanted to send a real encouraging message to them. So we got a little video out on there, just helping to boost that whole organization. If you were never part of Junior Achievements, it's a pretty cool thing. I was part of one in Summit, New Jersey. And we actually made a window cleaner was our product. So you learn some good skills and really get introduced to the business world as a younger person and kind of get exposed to a lot of the different things that you'll be facing. So at any rate, very excited about today's show. It is, there's a lot of current news, as you can imagine. We're coming to you today. We're taping today. It is the 29th of January, so we're right on the heels of a lot of changes, a lot of things going on in America. And I think 2020 was a year that brought us all to different places, brought us all to some realizations, brought us all to some real questions that we had to ask ourselves, our states that we live in, our country, and really just come to terms with a lot of stuff. So today, I'm doing a show, and it's called DUPE Soup. Again, just let's go back to the essence of this show is not political or anything like that. The essence of this show is to help companies strengthen and grow through better customer satisfaction. And one of the tenets you'll remember from this year's AFD, right, is appreciate, focus, and deliver. That focus, what is the focus? Well, it's a customer-centric focus, right? So today we're kind of have you look at some things and ask yourself some things, and I want to encourage you to keep thinking of those customers first, last, and always. So, just a couple things I'd like to ask, what business models do we as businesses emulate? Who do we look up to? Who do we want to copy? And again, who do we want to take their model and copy and paste it to our model, right? Do we replicate and duplicate? The old R&D, it doesn't stand for research and development, it stands for replicate and duplicate. What other businesses do we want to replicate and duplicate? And do we ever, as business owners, ask ourselves what not to do? And I think let's rest on that for a second, because I think there's a lot of danger today in just taking other business models and copying it and doing things, because I really think the message we have to look for is what we don't want to do, what we don't want to copy and paste in our in our efforts. So just, here's what I want to say to you. And I think this is really appropriate. I've been watching as a 62-year-old person. I've been watching for decades as the world learns how to, I guess, kind of harness who we are. Who are we? We're predominantly listeners. We're predominantly viewers. We're predominantly couch potatoes. We're predominantly people that would love to be spoken to from a screen and told what to do and think. And as a result, those entities that do that realize that we're a very captive audience. And it's come to a point where we're so busy, we've got such busy schedules, so, the demands of the family and taking kids here and there and doing this and that, all these little things of life have just created this busy, busy, busy environment. We're too busy to do so many things. So that world that speaks to us can do so with a very captive audience and a very lazy ear. And so I just want to, throw out that there's this soup that's been on the stovetop for 4 or 5 decades, maybe longer, but I've been watching it, and it's just gradually sticking in more vegetables, more meat that's just designed to dupe us. And if we're a captive audience, we just take the dupe. And I'm talking about politics, media, big pharma, medical, big tech. We've seen goalposts move. We see hidden agendas everywhere. We see spin doctors in every corner. We see half-truths, semantics, double standards, and double speak everywhere we go. It's all over. And if you stop to really listen to it and look at it, it's right in our face, and we don't even realize it. So let's park there for a second. Now let's transfer that over to how we run our companies. I think, and I'm asking you to consider, that is a dangerous business model to copy and paste to yours. And why is that? Because at the epicenter of all that designed dupe is really tons of entities that, quite honestly, don't care about you one iota. They care about money. They care about market share. They care about greed. They care about ratings. They care about the things they care about, and they're duping you into thinking that it's all about you. Well, again, go over to your companies. What are we talking about this year? Appreciate, focus, and deliver. You have to focus on the customer. If you think of the customer first, last, and always, everything else will take care of itself. If you get inside the customer habitat, let's say it's a tent, right? Just for argument's sake, and you unzip the door of the tent and you're looking out of the tent to the world that you as a company owner provide, that's the vision of that customer. They're looking at your company through their position inside their homes, inside their tent, and they're looking out to see what you're like. So we have to realize that the focus is on what they're seeing, what they're getting, what they're experiencing. Remember, we talked a lot in 2020 about the customer experience. So again, I just really, guys, I want you to kind of shed that appetite and that love affair with everything you hear coming at you, because I'm telling you, if you haven't stopped to notice, it's not about you, it's about them. It's their money, their market share, their profits, their stock price. It's all about building things up for them. And they're telling it's for you. They're telling us it's for you and us, but it's not. But in our businesses, we can't afford to do that. So just keep thinking about the fact that your customers want you to think about them first, last, and always. It was funny. I was with a bunch of men this morning. We were over in Kirkwood. I'm not trying to get, not trying to get religious on you here, but we were going over Philippians 2, and we were really looking at some scripture this morning. What was really interesting is that, we're called to be interested in other people's interests. And as Christians, if you're a Christian, that's one of our goals. We have to be interested in other people, and not only ourselves, but more importantly, even is the other person. So it was really a cool exercise to go through, and really made me think about today's podcast, because we need to think of the interests of our customers. We really do. They're the ones out there that are relying on us. They're giving us their hard-earned money. And, it's incumbent on us to not boil them in any kind of dupe soup. And it's so attractive because it's so easy, right? We could be loose lips about everything and just tell them what we want them to hear, but it's not about that. It's about what customers deserve to hear. And so don't model after all that trash you hear coming at you. Model after what's important to that customer. Model after telling that customer what that customer deserves to hear. So what I suggest you would do, and this is just my suggestion, we have the 8 chapters of the book on here, and one of them hanging up behind me is called Core. And I say to you, if you really want to strengthen your companies this year, you want to avoid boiling your customers in all kinds of dupe soup, then explore the core of what it means to run your companies with honesty, humility, reliability, integrity. Look at the core tenets that your foundation is built on. Make sure those are strong. Make sure those are adequate. Make sure those are healthy, and make sure they're customer-centric. Make sure they're focused on that customer, not on you. It's not about you, it's about them. It will come back to you if you make it about them, because they will repeat business with you. They will refer you to other people. So that's really the art of this broadcast, is to get you to think about, that and not what we're getting accustomed to, which is duping people, just saying whatever we want to say to get that person to sway our way. And then when the rubber meets the road, guess what? Half the times it never even pans out. So it's just one big fat lie to begin with. And you know what? Somebody got more money out of it. Somebody got a better stock price. Somebody got a better rating. And here we are with nothing. So just think about that. Build on top of your core. Strengthen that core. Let a strong core guide your efforts. Good always wins over bad. Just remember that. It does. It may take some time, but it always does. And just don't be tempted to boil the customers in that dupe soup. So I would really love to kind of just segue right into the Lost in the Shuffle track today. Great band out of Carlsbad, California. 5 guys, Tim and John Foreman, brothers, and then I believe Drew Shirley. They have a Brad, I believe. I can't think of Brad's name on the drums, but they've got 5 guys, and they formed a band called Switchfoot. They were actually a different name in 1996 when they came together, but you might have heard them. They kind of came to prominence in a 2002 movie with Mandy Moore called The Walk to Remember. And they came out with the song "Dare to Move." I remember my girls watched the movie, and I thought, wait, who is this band? These guys are phenomenal. Great poetic songwriters, just unbelievable lyrics. But these guys are they're rocky. They combine all the different genres. I heard an interview with John Foreman not too long ago. And it was really interesting that, in the car, driving around, they were Zepp heads. They were listening to Led Zeppelin as kids, and it was just, part of it. So these guys really have, it's hard rock stuff. It's really cool. But a song today that I'd like to just introduce you to from 2011, it came off their Vice Versa's album, and it's called Selling the News. And it just really kind of fits today's podcast, and, just kind of snugly, hunkers down right in there with us. So I don't want to try to, I don't want to be a bearer of bad news. I'm not trying to be a downer here. I'm trying to be realistic and saying, if you want to model good, strong companies, don't chase that. Chase customer-centric, customer-focused, ways of doing business that elevates that experience and shows those customers, man, that company cares about me. That company wants to treat my money special. Those people want to take care of me and do what I ask them to do. That's all we're trying to accomplish here. So we thank you for tuning in with us today. We just encourage you to make sure you always respond, right, 100% of the time. Follow up, follow through, And just make sure you understand that customer perception is always going to be customer reality. So whatever you can do to reshape that perception so that the reality of that customer perception is good, that's the way to do it. So thank you very much today. Thank you, Matt and Dietz and Half Coast Studios. We will see you next week. Have a great week, folks.